on our main, on our home page like this, when there is right now it is home page, you can define it on the tasks or anything, whatever you want. So on the home page, it should be only visible. Now to achieve that, what we do an interesting stuff. We go to the header because it is all happening in the header. In header, we bring something, and which is basically import, and it is called use location. Use location. Now, what is this use location? Use location is a hook that comes from React Router DOM, and we use it to make certain decisions over here. Now, what is the decision that we want to make? First of all, I'll create its variable and I'll say const location is equal to use location. Now access that location. And now here, I want this button to appear with a condition. So I'll do conditional formatting of this button, conditional rendering of this button. So I'll just first of all, put a curly bracket around that we usually do. And now here we'll say location dot path name equals if it is home. So remember, and ampersand. Remember if then. So I told you that if the path name is / like home route, then show that, otherwise do not. And again, you guys might have to show it different path, because if you have created that home component, you might have the tasks component to show that. But anyhow, this, whatever you want to say, path location, path name is equal to / then only show this button. So look at that. When I go to about, you see that button disappears. When I go to home, it comes back because I'm on home. If I go to U effect, so anything but a home will just take this button away, right? So it's called conditional rendering. So conditionally it is rendered. Make sense? So we can do, and as I said, you guys might have created a /tasks component which is showing the task. So if I say, for example, if I say about, look at that. Now this button will only be visible on about, but it won't be visible anywhere else. Look at that, button is disappeared. Even though on about it won't be anything, but let's say that button is visible, that right? So whatever path you give, it will just be visible on that path. So I want to keep it right now here. You might want to keep it on tasks because you have tasks. So you would like to keep that over there. Wonderful. So you can just place it over here. Now, another thing that, again, those who have seen the code, they might have seen that this task we want to have, like, for example, we want to have a link over here that opens the details of that particular task only, right? Task details. So now let's come back over here. Again, those who do not have, create a new component and we'll call it task details .jsx, task detail.jsx, right? Now, task details is the interesting stuff. First of all, let's create that RAFCE. Just leave that. Task details is created. Now, where do I want to call this task details? I actually want to call it where I'm rendering the tasks, or specifically the task. So I'll go to the task component. Look at that, task component. And here, I would like to bring this component. So I would just say, for example, okay, even before that, I will go to my app.jsx. App.jsx, and I will create a route here. And that route is the real thing. I'll say route path is equal to, now see here, /task /:ID. Now, which element I want to open with that one? I want to open task details that I just created. And I will close this one. Are you guys getting that one? My program would have stopped because task details is not here. Look at that. I'll show you. Of course, program is stopped. And why does it stop? No import. Let's go and import that. Import task details from ./components/task details. Now look at that. It comes back. And now I have created a path. Now what path I have created? Look at that. Path is very interesting. And I would like to talk about this one. I have created a path that if someone hits slash task slash colon ID, what does this colon ID means? Colon ID means from this URL, when it will be accessed, this ID becomes a parameter that is passed, and we can read that. Again, those who have looked at it, we can read that by using use params hook. There's a hook, another hook. So we'll talk about a hook. Now listen, I've said that this is the path that should open. When this path opens, colon ID means this ID will be a parameter to the URL. And somehow, why I'm doing that? I'll show you why I'm doing that. You remember I told you that on your server, I'll show you something. On your server, if I show you, if I just, you see a 239E. So I just take 239E. If I just take this one and I come here and I put that over here and I hit enter. Is remaining? Yeah. So now, do you see that whenever we do that? Now listen, this is task slash 239E. Whatever ID is there, if you pass that ID. Now listen, if somehow I pass this ID and I catch this ID and I bring that task, I will be just only showing that particular task over here. Now, how to access this path that I have created? And remember, I've used path, not paths. That's an interesting point. Some of you might be thinking why there is a path that I have created in that one. Let me show you. You see, I've used the task. Why? Because this is a path that I am creating by myself. And actually, when someone will be bringing only one task, so we would like to just, maybe give it a URL, the task slash one task with one ID. So we have given this path. Now listen, how would it be called? I will go to my task component. Let's go to the task component, which I opened up here. And here after this, look at that. First of all, I can create anything, but I will create a link over here. Link 2 is equal to, now here we write path. You guys remember that we write path? So I'll write, for example, in this link 2 is equal to, I would say a backtick. And I would say whenever someone click on you, a backtick. So you do task slash dollar curly bracket task.id. Now, I'm missing a curly bracket from what?
Before the back. A curly bracket.
Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you. So let's put that here. Of course, now see that link to path is equal to task slash ID. So read the ID and do that one. Now, look at that. In that, I'll just write here, for example, details or more, whatever, I can write that. And let's write it link over here. Look at that, right? And now, of course, I need to bring what? The link here. Make sense? Let's bring link. It has brought the link for me. Now see here what's happening. I'm saying whenever someone clicks on these details. Now listen, this is very important. Go and open a path. What is that path? Task slash task ID. You remember I have created a path with colon ID. So this ID actually is that colon ID that is being passed. So do you guys understand that I'm not worried about the tasks because I'm not looking at that right now. Even though when I will be fetching, I'll be fetching from the tasks because it is inside the tasks. But you see that I can define my own route like this. Now listen, from here, I want to call what? That I would like to just call that particular one. So if I just come back over here and if I show you, see that details link is over here. And if I show you, like again, if I click on this details, very interesting thing. Do you see that? I get the task details and what I get here? What is this? This is the ID of the task. And look at the path which is coming up. Task slash 239. If somehow from this URL, I can read back the ID, then I will be able to bring that particular task and show that over here. Right now, it's just showing task details over here. Are you guys getting that one? So let's go in the task details and start working in that one. Task details. Now, okay, so here's the task details. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. So let's come to the task details, which is this. Now, the first thing that it will require is both hooks that we have used, use effect and use state, which come from the React. Use state and use effect. Make sense, everyone? From React. And why do I need that? I will need them to store the data that will be coming from the server and everywhere, right? So first of all, let's do that. And then I will just come back over here and I'll create certain variables. So I'll say const task and set task use state, empty task right now. I'll also create const loading, and loading is equal to true. So we'll play with the loading element, loading state variable. If loading is true, then we won't be showing the task. If loading becomes false, then we'll be showing the task or whatever, right? All right. So now this is one thing. So we have got that one. Now the hook that we want to use over here is actually use params. Use params from, now where does it come from? DOM, React Router DOM. The same that we are doing for the routing purposes, right? React Router DOM, it comes from React Router DOM. Now, yes, let's create its variable as well. We have created multiple variables over here, and I'll create one more variable. I'll create params is equal to use params. Make sense, everyone? We have created a variable over here. Now, we would like to play with this variable, but to play with this variable, we need what? Use effect, because we want to fetch the data, right? Now let's create a use effect. Right. So let's say I have a fetch task function. Make sense? That will fetch one task from the server. Now here comes the concept. So I'll write const res is equal to fetch. Make sense, everyone? And I'll put a backtick. HTTP /localhost. And where is my server running? Anyone? 8,000 or 7,000? 8,000. 8,000 / tasks /. Now what will come over here? Here the ID should come. And where will I get the ID? So actually ID will come from params.id. Go to the parameter and read the ID from the parameters. Are you guys getting that one? What is this params.id? Params is this params, use params, parameters. What does it do? I have just said that open this tasks. Inside that tasks, go with this params.id. And what is params.id? Did I show you just right now that when I click on a task, it actually shows the ID on the parameter? So it's actually reading that ID from there. You guys getting that one? Once you receive that, you convert that into JSON, normal JSON. So const data is equal to await. And again, I forgot the await here as well. We need to await here as well, right? So data comes up, and now this data should be the task that we need. So just go and do what? Anyone? Set task and pass the data to that one. Are you guys getting that one? And when the set task is done, set loading. Now set loading what? False, because it is true. Because we want to make it false, because we will be playing with this one, right? Set loading should be false now. Make sense, everyone? Now, the thing that I will always forget, call this function, right? I never call this function and I forget that one. So call this function. Now, and I want this use effect to run only once. Remember, everyone? Just empty square brackets. Because you are not looking here, you will be asking same questions after that. I don't know where you are busy. No, you are not looking at the board at all. You are just typing by yourself. It's interesting. And because you're not listening to me, can you just listen to me and type it later on? You know, because you will ask the same question later on. Now, so see here, what we have done, we want to run it once. We are just running it once. And what we have done in this, we have said that fetch this task whose parameter, like whose ID has been passed as a parameter ID. So read that and just do that. Make sense? Now it brings that, and after bringing, what does it do? It sets it in the task. Remember, we have a set task variable, like task variable. So just go and store that into that. So will after fetching, it would store that in the task keyword, like task word, task state variable, not word. Look at that. This task. Will it actually set this value in the task? Are you guys getting that? Which was, by the way, what empty in the beginning. Now this code will do what? It will just go and set the task, and it will set this loading, which was true in the beginning. It says the loading is done in somewhere, and we say that this is false. Make sense? Now let's come over here. And what we need to do in the task right now. So I'll just take it away from here, and what I'll do, I'll just put a return here, and what I'll do, I'll say, for example, let's check loading. If loading is true, right? So just give, for example, just give an H3 and write loading, ... Make sense, everyone? If loading is true, just do what? Just show loading and ... right? And else, what do you want? Else you do need to do what? Make a fragment, for example. Let's make a fragment. We can make it anything. And do what? For example, let's say H3 and put task dot title. Are you guys getting that one? And paragraph, task not dot description dot day. We have day, right? And let's say task dot reminder. Let's bring that one, which won't come, but let's do that. Make sense, everyone? Now let's go back and see what is happening here. So task dot title does not come. I've called the text dot title. Is that right? Yeah. So it is text, right? So see here. Now I get what? I get my task over here. I don't get this one. So remember, let's try to do that. Remember toString? You see that? When you convert that to a string, it also appears. Now, so this means that now this is our task, which is coming up from where, and which task it is when I have clicked on this one. Now, if I go back and I click on this one details, look at that new task, something and false. You guys see that? If I go back and I change its reminder and I click on details, look at that, it comes up with the false. It means, urgently when I do that, it's quickly updated on my server. Do you see that? I get a false. If I go back and I make it true and I click on details, look at that, true. I get a true. Are you guys getting that one? And now I just did that over there as well. I would just maybe give it a div. Why? Because I would like to maybe give it a style, something. And let's give it a class name equal to, and I may call it new task, something like that. So whenever the new task comes up, we'll just give it the stylings over there. New task class, right? And I don't want a display flex. Rather, I want a border 1 pixel solid gray. Look at that. Now I need a padding. Let's say 20 pixel on sides. Right. I would like to have again max width for this as well. I would say 300 pixels, something like that. Look at that. It is 300 pixel now. And maybe I would like to have text align center. Works here. Text align center comes up. And this box I give to margin, and see that margin 20 pixel top and bottom and auto left and right, so that it is middle in its box. It comes in the middle of the box. You see that? And what else? You can apply a background color. And let's apply maybe the same color that we have over there. I don't know which color we have. I think this is, for example, whatever. Then I would like to give it about a radius, something like that. It's all optional, right? So 5 pixel radius, and it's let's keep it like this. And I did one more thing over there. Let's do that just for the some visible difference. Let's put an HR after that. Look at that, a line appears after that one, HR. And now whatever task I click here, look at that, I get its details. If I add a new task, again, some gibberish task. I'm not worried about now gibberish task because I know that it will be opened up. So you see that this task is opening up. Make sense? And whenever as I showed you, whenever we make a change, something like that, the server always gets updated and the data comes as updated, because and every time when it's just, comes up, it renders and use effect runs. Actually why it is happening, use effect is running all the time. So whenever we bring the task, it actually goes to the server and server automatically has that true or false being set up there. Make sense? True or false is already set up there. Okay, what else? We might want to do one more thing over here on the path. Like, I showed it, it's just an optional that I want to see that where this is actually. So I would import something called path name from use location. No, I would bring rather. Is it the right syntax I've used that? No, I will have to import that here. Use location. Right? And what I'll do, I'll just come here and I'll create a variable. I'll say const and I'll take out path name from use location. Make sense, everyone? Use location. Now, what is this path? Path actually tells me where I am right now. Where I am right now. So if I come here and I do interesting stuff, again, as I said, which is not required, which is not important, you don't need to. So I come here and I put for example, I put an H6 like that. And I put here path name. Look at that. It tells me the path where I am right now. So if I go back, hit refresh, look at that. If I refresh, if I click on details, you see that it opens up. If I click on these details, it opens up with the ID. So I can see the ID as well over here. ID is coming in my URL as well, don't worry about that. But again, it is showing me the task where my path is. Make sense? So it's something optional if you want to just show that, or if you don't want to show that. This is all up to you. Now, the last thing before we move, that it will have a button over here. And for button, I'm calling the button, right? I'll literally call the button. So remember, we have a button component that we created for ourselves. If I bring button over here, of course, it will just go away because there is no button. So import button from // button is in the same folder, right? Let's save. So button has come. But button, I've not passed any text to this one. So let's pass the text equal to, for example, go back. Right? Let's say back. You see that button is coming up with that one because button has already applied class over there. So I've just said that button is equal to that. And now that's very interesting. What I want is that whenever, like, first of all, if you look at that. So whenever I have a legitimate task, it opens up over here. So for example, if I have a legitimate task, it opens up here. If I have a legitimate task, it opens up over here. But what if I enter something which is not there? 6777, which is not there, right? So if I hit enter, look at that. It says me what? Loading. That's not a good thing. It should not show loading. It should rather say, for example, task not found. I do not find the task. Make sense? So it's right now showing loading because this task does not exist. And you remember, we have done this programming that loading, if you check, if it checks for the loading first, right? So for that, what we'll do, we'll just go here and we'll just bring one more hook from here, and that is called use navigate. Now this is very interesting, and I'll create a variable over here as well. So I'll say navigate is equal to use navigate. Now this navigate is very interesting. This navigate says that if the task is not found, for example, over here, if response dot status, right, is not equal to 200, or maybe let's say equal to 404. You know, what does that mean? If the status is 404, what does that mean? Task not found. So we will call this navigate here. Look at that. I'll say navigate, and I would say navigate to the home page. Look at that home page. Remember, Kash, what I said? Navigate to the home page. And why I'm calling home page? Because I know that there is a route being defined with the forward slash. So I say navigate to home if you don't find. So no loading. If you don't find anything, go back to the home page. Make sense? Now, what I'll do, let's see here. If I come here, and now if I enter something which is not there, look at that. You guys see that? I'll show you. If there is a legitimate task will appear. But what if I come here and I say PO, whatever, right? Look at that. What happens? I basically am navigating back to the, yes.
Can we go back to the homepage and show a display alert that file not found?
Yes. What you can do, if you want, you can do that. You might want to define, another state variable of error or something, and you might want to write the code over there. When you are going back, you'll have to just handle a lots of things that you are coming back from there. Rather than doing that, you might want to set up some alert over there as well. You know what I mean? For example, what do you want to say? You want to say that, for example, if I want to set up an alert over here, that if the status is not found, for example, let's say, task not found. For example, if I do that, if I click on that, the task is there, right? If I come here and I enter something which is not there, you see that it's a task not found. And if I click on OK, it take me back where? To the home page, right? Rather than going home page and checking, because on home page you'll have to find out, okay, from where we are coming from. You need to know the history, right? So here you just handle that over there. If the response status comes out as 404, just go there and do that, like just display this one and then just show that, right?
Can you show me the route?
Sorry, which one? The task details? Now see here. Usually we avoid alert. You know why? Because alert stops your all working.
Yes.
Okay, which one? Oh, okay, that's task details. It's the same, this one. This one you're asking? Yes. It's here. Oh, this path, okay. See here, we have defined the path over here. Has that become a very useful project now? You've got navigation, you've got the React router. Router is very important. React router is a very important topic, and we need to know that how to just work with the React routing, how we can just make routes. And this is one very dynamic type of route. Dynamic route means, this is called dynamic routing, because here task/colon ID will always be different. ID will always coming back as a different, because whenever you click on something, it will bring up that particular ID. So that's basically something over here that is just implementing. So I would like to, you have completed a home component, right? Can you share your home components code on the Teams? And I would just copy that on my home, and let's maybe complete that home over here as well. Whatever you have done, you just let me know, and I'll just make corrections over here. So I would like first your home code on the chat. Oh, you have sent that on Teams, right? I'm on the chat message. Right. Oh, you have sent it over here. Good. And you have shared that logo PNG as well, right?
I download file and import it.
Sorry, you downloaded the file?
Yeah.
Okay, share that file as well. I'll just paste that. So here's my home. It's this my home. I paste it over here. Because most of the things are almost same. And you have created a tasks component as well, right? Or you have just called the tasks directly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. I get it. I get it. Okay, have you shared the picture as well? Is it here?
Yes. Things.
Oh, it's here, right? Download that. And where did you place that one?
Assets.
In assets, right? Okay, and then on the home page, on the app.jsx, what you have done? Can you share your app.jsx code as well? Or maybe just the return part, right? The return part of JSX, app.jsx, return part. What I'll do is that I'll comment out my return and I'll just take your return here. Sorry, no, I won't reply that. No, no, I won't reply that. Sorry. I will never, I hate to reply about that. Yes, where have you shared that? Because I've said that so many times. Have you shared that? Good.
Which part?
Oh, just return part, like return JSX. You know, the return parenthesis, in other words. See here.
Oh.
Just this return. You know, just leave everything out.
Oh,
Just
okay.
return
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
right? Start from the return and wherever it is ending, right? Karsh, when I was explaining, you were not listening to me, you know? Right? It's okay. But you are asking the question. I know you are not saying that my code is not working. You should say my code is not working. No, I would not reply to that one. But if your code is not working, I can help you out to run that. Why? Because I've already said that twice or thrice. And that's why I always keep on saying you, please listen to me first and then try to do that. Right? I'll come to you. Don't worry. I'll come to you. Oh, you have used this return. Wonderful. So I just wanted your return, right? So Pavel, I've just pasted your return, right? This is your return. Let's see my application, how it is now. I've not seen my application for so long. So nothing is shown. Maybe some Yeah, something missing from your code and my code. Let's see that. Or maybe I've not brought home on over here. Home, you see that? I did not import home. Yeah. Now home is here. Still there is something wrong. Home JSON does not provide an export name. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
My export is not exporting any, like my home is not exporting anything. Why? But I used your code. Oh, you see that? Export default home. Okay, now what is the problem? Does not provide an export name default and link is not defined, and where this link is not defined here, link is here, but maybe on my app.jsx. Is that right? Yeah, yeah. So there is no link here, right? So I'll have to use that. Wonderful. Okay, so this is again one of the students' contribution. I'm just sharing that one. So when I hit tasks, the tasks come. Wonderful. You go back. About component comes. Effect comes. Now I would like maybe some of you. I'll share this code, and I would like you to change this links as well. Links that do not look very pretty here. So we need to make them pretty. So they are very near to each other. And what we usually do, let's try to do that here. What we usually do, I'll have to go to the home component of like Pavel, your code. I'll go to your home component. So what you have done, you have just placed them like this, with a menu. Right? Rather, I might want that you guys maybe just try that out, that you have a UL over here, unordered list, right? And unordered list has the LIs, which are showing this one of them. You know what I mean? So every one of them is in LI. And then later on, we'll just play with that. Don't worry, right? Let's first of all see whether we are able to do so or not. Let's save that. You see that tasks have come like this. We want to just settle them, and that's why I'm just using that one. So what I'll do is that I will just enclose them in LI. Right. So let's quickly have these links inside them. And inside them. Right, let's go back. You see that now we have got these, all of them over here. And the first link should always be home itself, right? Have you created the home route, by the way, just for a question? You have that? Okay, wonderful. So what I do is that slash, is it slash home?
No,
Sorry?
no, just slash.
Just slash. Okay, right. Right. So this should be linked to the home. Right. So home tasks about, you see that now they're coming. And one more thing, one more very important thing. When they are just coming like this one, I might want to enclose them in a nav rather than, what I mean? Even though the picture is also coming inside that, but nav. And why? To make it semantically also more effective. You know what I mean? And now what we'll do something interesting stuff. Have you created this class name menu for the styling? What do you have used that one? So I'll just use that. What is that class name? Sorry, menu. Okay, menu. And what have you used that? I should display. Okay. Yeah. So display. Oh, you did a display flex here, which I might not want to do, because you see that picture is also coming because I have just put that menu inside everything. So I don't want to do that. Rather, I'll just do something else. So if let's save that one. So I'll say dot menu, and for example, UL. The UL inside rather I'll take li. So list style none, the first thing that we do. Make sense, everyone? And also, let's say, let's create something for the anchor as well. Anchor, not anchor. We have what inside that link, right? We have the link inside that one. So I would say, rather than doing that, let me just do another stuff. So remember, I have given to the links this is home. So link, I can give a class to this links, right? Let's give a class. Class name is equal to HM link, home link, because there will be multiple types of link. So what I'll do is that I will give this class to every link. Click here, click and hold alt, space, class name equal to inverted commas HM link, like home link, right? Let's hit save. Everyone comes up with a class now. And now I'll just come here and I'll say dot menu dot HM link. Did I use a capital N? I use the capital N. Yes. Right. So I'll first of all text decoration. None. If I just take this away. Yeah. So text decoration none. You see that text decoration goes away. And I can say, for example, if I want to give a color, I can say color, and I can give any color, by the way. This is all on me. Let's say maroon, for example. Looks good, right? And maybe what else do you want? So these are now the links are becoming more and more like, more and more presentable, more and more useful. And yes, now if you want to do that thing, that display flex type of thing, what we can do, if you want to just, spread them all over. So what I'll do, I'll just, instead of doing that, I'll just do a little stuff here that I'll take this one out from the nav. You know what I mean? I'll take this one out of the nav, place it over here. Oh, sorry. So nav is a wrapper around that. Okay. So I'll just make a wrapper here. You know what I mean? I'll have to just do a few stuff thing, but we can do that. So I'll just come here and I'll put that ending here. Everything should be correct. And now see that out of this nav, I'll take it that's out of nav and I'll place it over here. So that picture is not inside that one. So picture is outside of that. And we can settle the sizing and everything later on. And what I'll do, I'll just come here and now I'll do that in that new, what was the class that you used that there? Menu, right? Menu. So where's that menu? I'll just create the menu now. What menu? And here, display flex. Now let's see that. Still, it does not show the display flex. Why?
I put inline and it worked.
Hmm?
Display inline and it worked on mine.
Because this menu class is a wrapper. You see that? It's a wrapper. Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. Why it's not happening, Because it's a wrapper. Nav is a wrapper, but it's just wrapping around UL. So UL is the right place for that one. So let me just take this away from here. Maybe we'll need to settle a few other things, but why not? No worries. You see that now? Now that looks like that one. And now if I just come here, I can just say justify content. Justify content. And let's say space between. Like that. Does it look more better now? And again, the logo as well, you can just make adjustment in the size of this logo. You have just given width is equal to 460. So for example, if I say 260, something like that, maybe, you want to just maybe align that on center or something like that. But anyhow, this is how this our homepage looks like. Now, if I click on tasks coming up. Wonderful, Pavel. This is your code. And if I click on home, we are home. It click on task. And these, look at that. These links are not coming on every page because they are on home only. You know what I mean? So what we want to do, we might want to just have these links over here, and then maybe one copy of something of that stuff in the header as well, because header is always there. You know what I mean? But anyhow, this is all up to you. You can just do whatever you want. Just go home, view effect. Let's go to home, something like that. But it's all linking and all those stuff. And this is Pavel's code mostly that I've just used over here. So now I'll come back to it. So now see that, and it will only work in the, and so I just did the reverse thing, for the testing purpose, I just did the reverse around. I'll show you that. In the header. So your home is tasks now, like the tasks, right? Where the button should be there. Make sense? So button should be on the task, right? Not on the home. On the tasks, button is there. And I can remove the task. I can remove this one as well. And I can add a new task. And I close that. My task is added. And again, if I go home, I have this home. I have the tasks again. I go back. I have the about component. I can go home, effect, whatever. We can do a lots of wonderful stuff. You can just make a picture, something like that, and like that, right? So this very much is almost completed. We have almost done that. You guys have not time for me? Yes. What's the problem? No.
Not at all.
Oh, I see. I got it. Can you show me your code? And show me the task component. Task now. Just task. Single task. Okay. Just go. Wonderful. Can you now? Okay. Can you now go back to your app.jsx? Looks good as well. You have to select that. This for the. Can you go to the task details? Task details for JSX. Okay, can you go back to the running code again? That's good. This task. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. When you click on the tasks, go to task. And here. Okay. Okay. I got it. That's why it is just creating that part. Okay. Go back to your app.jsx and app.jsx. App. Here just do add /tasks here. Right task. Next. We'll come down. The work around. You know what I mean? You understand what we are doing? About is there. Go to the task and now click on the task. Get the task, right? So actually you need to adjust your path because now you are inside another.
How to use the link of the buttons?
Oh, I've not used that. Sorry, I've not used that link with the button. I'll just use that, or maybe I'll show you the button, the go back button, right? See here. Yes, I forgot that one. So look at that. What I'll do on this button, which is in task details, right? Go back button. Now I just forgot one thing. Actually, you will come here and you'll say not on click. Remember, the button component receives a prop of the function. Do you guys remember that one? Button actually receives. I'll show you button. Where is the button? It's not open. Look at that. He has asked the question. Otherwise, I forgot that. You see that? Karsh, do you see that it receives on add? So it receives that on add and applies on click of the button. So you know what I need to do? I'll go into task details and I'll say on add is equal to, right? I'm passing a function from here. On add is equal to callback function. Make sense? And do what? What it will do? It will actually navigate. Yes, navigate to here. I'll use another technique. Navigate to -1. You know what I mean? -1. Wherever you have come from, go back their place, that place. This -1, -2, they will actually make it happen. 1 step, 2 step back or forward. Now see here. Now it should done perfectly fine. So details is not coming. Maybe something is missing from here. Let's see that. Details are not coming. Let's miss. Oh, same problem. Yeah. You're right. So you know what is the problem? And this was with the Kirsch, and Kirsch we found out the problem. Actually, the path is now going task/task because we are inside tasks now, right? So Kirsch was having that problem, and I suggested there that we need to just make little change in the app.jsx. Go to the app.jsx, and on the path, where is the path? It's here. Just add /tasks/task/id. Make sense? Because now the path is changed, a little bit changed. So now let's come back, and now you see that back takes me back. Back takes me back. Navigate -1. I'll use navigate -1. I'll show you. I'll just show that. Header, I'll close header. This is task detail. Look at that. Navigate -1 means go 1 step back. And again, this is up to you. You see that now having the paths is so interesting. If you write here /about, does it access the path like this? Or I don't remember the syntax. Let me see that. You see that? In the double quotations, it accepts that. So look at that. It is opening up now. What? The about, because I've given that open the about, which is crazy. I don't want that. So I actually want rather maybe you go to home. This is one option. Go to home, which will also work because we have /home, or maybe not. Or if it is the home, look at that details. So it takes me to home, which is not right. So what should be here? Of course, it should be here tasks. If I want to typically go to the tasks. So I'll come here, tasks, details, tasks, details, and go back, tasks. Do you see that? Details, go back, tasks. Is that making sense to everyone? That really sums up our today's part, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I will share now this code with you, and I'll make sure that I share the right code this time around, because I always make that mistake. So I'll just try to do that. And please keep an eye on my workings. So I go here. This is section 1, right? This is week 10. This task tracker I'll delete. Now I'll come inside. I'll delete node modules as well, because I don't want to do what I don't allow you to do, right? So delete that one. And I'll just stop this meeting because I don't want now this meeting to continue.